Welcome to creating your first service instance. Today you will create your very first service instance in SAP BTP. This means provisioning a specific cloud service, like setting up a database or messaging system. For example, creating a PostgreSQL database instance to store your application's customer data. This hands-on step is your foundation for building and running solutions in the cloud. We will walk through each step together. This means I will guide you through the entire process, explaining each action as we go. For example, when creating a service instance, I will show you exactly where to click and what to input, like selecting the right service plan. You'll gain confidence by following along with every detailed instruction. By the end, you will have a running service ready to use. This means you will have successfully set up and activated a functional cloud service. For instance, imagine creating a database service that your application can immediately connect to and use for storing data. You will have a live, operational resource at your fingertips. This is your first hands-on step into BTP administration. It means you are performing an actual task in the platform, moving from theory to practice. For example, creating a database service instance is like provisioning your own cloud database for an application. You are now actively managing resources on SAP BTP. A service instance is a dedicated resource for your application. A service instance is your personal copy of a BTP service. This means you get your own dedicated version to configure and use, separate from others. For example, creating a service instance for the SAP HANA Cloud Database gives you your own private database. This personal copy is the foundation for building and running your applications securely. Think of it like ordering a specific meal from a restaurant menu. You choose exactly what you need, and the kitchen prepares it for you. For instance, selecting the vegetable pasta creates your unique dish. In BTP, this is how you provision and configure a specific service for your application's use. This tailored approach ensures you get precisely the functionality required. Each instance has its own settings and resources. This means when you create a service, it gets its own unique configuration and dedicated computing power, separate from others. For example, each development project can have its own HANA database instance with specific memory and access rules. This isolation ensures your service runs reliably and securely, tailored exactly to your needs. You can create multiple instances for different needs. This means a single service can be configured in various ways for separate tasks. For example, use one SAP HANA Cloud instance for production data and another for testing new features. This flexibility allows you to tailor each instance precisely to its specific purpose. Let's begin in the Business Technology Platform cockpit. Log into your BTE account. This means accessing the central web interface where you manage all your SAP Business Technology Platform services and applications. For example, a developer logs in daily to check the status of their cloud applications. This initial step is essential for performing any task within the platform. Navigate to your global account. This means accessing the main container that holds all your BTE resources and subscriptions. For instance, if your company runs multiple regional applications, this is where you'd manage them collectively. Mastering this step ensures you can efficiently oversee your entire cloud landscape. Select your sub-account. This means choosing the specific workspace where your applications and services will run, much like picking a project folder on your computer. For example, a company might have separate sub-accounts for development and production environments. This selection is your first step to managing your resources. Click on Services Service Marketplace. This is where you explore and activate available SAP services, like browsing an app store. For example, if you need to build a mobile app, you'd find and enable the mobile services here. This step is your starting point for accessing all BTP capabilities. Choosing your service. Browse the service marketplace. This means exploring SAP's central catalog where all available services are listed and described. For instance, if your company needs to add document processing to an app, you can find and enable the AI-based document information extraction service here. This is your starting point to discover and activate the exact capabilities you need. Look for Alert Notification Service, our example. This service proactively sends notifications when specific events occur in your applications. For instance, if your e-commerce system processes a high-value order, it can instantly alert your finance team via email or SMS. Using this service ensures your team stays informed about critical business events automatically. Click on the service tile. This means selecting the specific service you need from the SAP BTP catalog. For example, if you want to build a mobile app, you would click the Mobile Services tile. This simple action opens the service dashboard where you can begin configuration. Review the service description and capabilities. This means carefully reading what the service does and its features before you choose it. For instance, if you need to send notifications, check SAP Alert Notification Service details to confirm it handles email and SMS. This ensures you select the right tool for your specific needs. Understanding service plans in SAP BTP. Service plans are like different subscription levels. This means each plan offers distinct features, resources, or capacities tailored to various needs and budgets. For example, a basic plan may include limited storage, while a premium plan offers more. Choosing the right service plan ensures you get the capabilities you require. Free plans are great for learning and testing. This means you can explore SAP BTP services without cost to understand their features and try out your ideas. For instance, use the free trial of the SAP HANA Cloud Service to practice building a small database. This hands-on experience builds confidence before moving to paid options. Paid plans offer more features and capacity. This means you get advanced capabilities and can handle larger workloads, like more users or data. For instance, while a free trial might support 5 users, a paid plan could scale to thousands. Investing in these plans unlocks the full power needed for robust business operations. Select the free plan for our first instance. This means choosing a no-cost option to begin exploring a service without any charges. For example, when trying SAP HANA Cloud for the first time, you would pick the free tier to test basic features. This allows you to learn and experiment risk-free before committing financially. Naming your instance. Choose a clear, descriptive name. This means picking a name that immediately tells you what the instance is for, avoiding vague terms. For example, name it Produce Retail Payroll instead of Test 01. A good name saves time and prevents confusion when managing your landscape. Use lowercase letters and hyphens only. This means your instance name should not include capital letters, numbers, or special symbols like underscores. For example, name it My Project Demo instead of My Project Demo 1. This consistent approach ensures your instance name is universally compatible and easy to reference across the platform. Include your initials and purpose. This means your instance name should contain your identifier and its function. For example, John Doe creating a development instance might name it JDDev Training. This immediately tells your team who created it and what it's for. Consistently naming instances this way makes them easy to identify and manage. Example, John Alerts Test or Team Notifications. This means using clear, descriptive names for your instances. If you create a service to send weather alerts, name it Weather Alerts Prod so everyone knows its purpose. This simple practice helps your team quickly identify and manage each instance in your account. Begin by selecting the Create Instance option. From the service page, click the Create button. This means you are starting to set up a new service for your application. For example, if you need a database, you click Create to begin provisioning it. This single action initiates the entire setup process for your chosen service. You will see the instance creation form. This is where you enter all the required details to set up your new service, like choosing its name and plan. For example, when creating a HANA database instance, you'd specify its memory size here. This form is your starting point for provisioning any service in BTP. Do not worry, we will fill this out step by step. This means we will complete each field together gradually, not all at once. For example, when creating a database instance, we will first name it, then choose the plan, configure settings, and finally review. This guided approach ensures you understand each part without feeling overwhelmed. All fields are clearly labeled. This means each input has a descriptive title, so you know exactly what information to enter. For example, the instance name field tells you to provide a unique name for your resource. This clear labeling helps prevent errors and guides you smoothly through the setup process. Step 2. Fill in the basic details. Enter your chosen instance name. This is simply a unique identifier for your SAP BTP instance, much like naming a new project folder. For example, if you are creating a development environment, you might name it HR_app_dev. This name helps you easily recognize and manage your instance among others. Select the free service plan. This means you choose the no-cost option to access SAP BTP services without any charges. For example, when trying out SAP HANA Cloud for Learning, pick the free plan to explore features at zero expense. This ensures you can start using services immediately without financial commitment. Choose your current sub-account. This means selecting the specific workspace where your application and services will be managed. For instance, if you are developing a sales reporting app, you pick the sales team sub-account to deploy it there. This ensures all your project resources are correctly organized and isolated. Select the default space, usually dev. This means choosing the standard development area where your project's apps and services will reside. For example, if building a sales reporting app, you'd place it in the dev space to keep work organized. This initial selection ensures your resources are properly contained and managed from the start. Step 3. Configure parameters. Most services have simple configuration options. This means you typically just set basic values like region or memory limits without complex coding. For example, configuring an SAP HANA Cloud instance mainly involves selecting your preferred cloud provider and specifying database size. These straightforward settings let you quickly activate services for your needs. For our alert notification service, use default settings. This means accepting the pre-configured values without changes, which are designed to work optimally right away. For example, when setting up email alerts for system errors, the default settings ensure reliable delivery without requiring technical adjustments. This simplifies setup and ensures immediate, reliable operation. You can always change these later. This means your initial parameter choices aren't permanent. For example, if you set a system's memory to 2 GB and later need more for a new app, you can easily increase it. This flexibility allows you to adapt your configuration as your project's needs evolve over time. Click Next to continue. This action saves your current parameter settings and moves you forward in the configuration process. For instance, after setting your database password, clicking Next proceeds to the network setup screen. This ensures a smooth and guided configuration flow. Step 4. Review the configuration and create the solution. Review all your settings. This means double-checking every configuration choice you have made before finalizing. For instance, when creating a cloud database, verify the region, memory allocation, and access permissions. Taking this moment ensures your solution will deploy correctly and meet requirements. Check your instance name is correct. This means verifying your chosen name matches your intended service before final creation. For example, when creating a development instance, confirm it is named DevHR System rather than using a temporary placeholder. This prevents confusion and rework later, making your deployment process smooth and error-free from the start. Verify the service plan selection. This means confirming you have chosen the right capability level for your application, like picking the correct subscription for a streaming service. For instance, ensure you have selected the standard plan for a production app, not a free trial tier. This careful check prevents unexpected limitations and costs later. Click Create to deploy your instance. This action finalizes your configuration and starts provisioning the service in SAP BTP. For example, after setting up an alert notification service, clicking Create makes it operational for your applications. This single step brings your planned solution to life in the cloud. Awaiting deployment completion. Your instance will now deploy. This means your SAP BTP service is being set up and activated in the cloud. For example, when you order a new database, it takes a few moments to be ready for use. Once complete, your service will be fully operational and accessible. This usually takes 1 to 2 minutes. This means the system needs time to prepare your application to run, like loading all necessary components. For example, when you publish a simple website update, it briefly processes before going live. Just wait for the confirmation message before proceeding. You will see status updates on screen. This means the system will show you real-time progress indicators during deployment. For example, when you deploy an app, you might see messages like building, deploying, or ready. This keeps you informed at each step, so you know exactly what's happening without guessing. Wait for the created status message. This means your application's deployment request has been accepted and the system is actively building and starting it. For example, after uploading your app files and clicking deploy, you must wait for this confirmation. This ensures your application is fully ready and running before you proceed. Verifying your SAP BTP instance status. Navigate to Instances and Subscriptions. This means going to the specific area in your SAP BTP cockpit where all your active services are listed. For example, if you have a trial account, you would click here to see your available applications. This is your first step to confirm everything is running correctly. Find your new instance in the list. This means locating the specific service you just created within your account's dashboard. For example, after creating a new HANA database, you would scan your list of services to confirm it appears there. This verification confirms your setup was successful and the instance is ready for use. Check that status shows created. This means your instance is successfully provisioned and ready for use. For example, after ordering a database service, you'd navigate to your instances list and confirm it displays created. This verification ensures your service is active and properly set up. Click on your instance to see details. This means selecting your specific service from the list to open its overview page. For example, after creating an HANA database, click its name to check its status and connection information. This action is essential for confirming your instance is active and ready to use. Congratulations on this significant achievement. You have successfully created your first service instance. This means you have provisioned a ready-to-use cloud service on SAP BTP. For example, you could now use this instance to create a database for a simple application. This foundational step enables you to start building and integrating solutions directly. This is a fundamental BTP administration skill. It means knowing how to securely manage user access and permissions in your cloud environment. For instance, you might grant your development team permission to deploy applications but restrict them from accessing production data. Mastering this ensures your BTP resources are used safely and efficiently. You can now use this instance for your applications. This means your configured BTP environment is ready to host and run your custom code. For example, you could deploy a small app that tracks employee training progress there. Your foundational setup is complete and operational for development. Ready to try creating another instance? This means repeating the setup process to deploy another service or application. For example, after creating a test database, you could create a production one with similar steps. Each new instance expands your solution's capabilities, so practice builds confidence.